Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This reading today is about where your path is taking you and what you need to know about the direction that your life is taking. So, I wasn't supposed to use this deck on this reading, but I was just consulting the fairies to see what the energy was about and what the reading should be about. And these three cards just fell out. So it seems to me like I also want to be kind of led by my intuition and by spirit. So I think that this fortuitous event wasn't by chance, and these three cards that came out exactly in the sequence also have some sort of meaning, like the three cards together. So it's like a reading in of itself, this first set of cards. So I would also like you to reflect upon that as I will explore each one of the cards in each one of the piles also. So it's also an invitation for you to maybe check all of the piles if that interests you. I'm sensing that there's some sort of sequence or story already here. So let's start with pile number 1. We have Capricorn, Virgo, Cancer, and Libra. For pile number 2, we have Aquarius, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Pile number 3, we have Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, and Taurus. Okay, so now I will show you each one of the cards. The Lady of the Harvest. Pile number 2 has Iris of the Rainbows. And pile number 3 has the Fairy Godmother. Okay, so I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using your intuition, using the cards, using the zodiac signs, and I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is Lady of the Harvest. Lady of the Harvest is about completion. It's about releasing something, being liberated. It can be about loss, or it can be about gaining something at the end of a process. So it's the harvest. It's whatever is there for you at the end of a process. So I guess that you're now in the midst of this process of completion. Maybe you're also grieving something that you have lost. It can be something positive or negative, because loss always means some sort of grief. It can be small, it can be something big. Okay, let's get you a Noam. So where is your path taking you? Okay, so this is Tin, and this is about, oh, sorry for the focus, really difficult. Okay, sorry for that. So this Ogham is about some sort of victory, being the best in a fight, proving yourself. Interesting. Okay, so it seems like this is actually a positive process of completion. Okay, so let's use some mystical Kipper cards and oracle cards. So where is your path taking you? Where will this lead you to? Okay, this one. Okay, no, I'll wait for this one. I'll see the cards first. Okay. Rich, good gentleman. Okay. So it seems like you played your cards, or let's say your chess pieces, the right way. You're almost ending, or you're ending the game. Receiving a gift. So I guess there's a prize. There is going to be a prize. You're going to harvest. You're going to get a gift. It can be a gift from spirit. Hecate. Interesting. And Gaia. Okay. This is something about your creations, the things you create. Maybe you're being somehow exalted or celebrated for the things that you did, for something you have created. Okay, so we have the first quarter moon, increasing in air, leaf stage with adaptability. Interesting. I think that this is a characteristic that will go a long way. It will take you places. If you're adaptable at this time, it's the way to make sure that your creations, that the thing that you're producing, whatever it is, your work, your creativity, your collaborations, it's the way to ensure success is to be very malleable and adaptable in the moment, because Hecate is about past, present, future, and that consciousness of the past, present, and future in the now. So it's also the card of the performer. I feel like this is a reading like of a performer, an athlete, an artist, someone who is like in that moment, in the moment. But it's of course a culmination of a lot of past efforts, training, developing your skill, whatever you're good at. So this is truly a time for you to show everyone how you can fit into different situations, and how the skills that you bring and the thing that you're good at is very useful and important for many different things, like many different people from different walks of life. I think consider what you do, like they have a high regard for you, and they see you as someone who can really bring a lot of value to collaborations, to something that you're doing or that you're presenting. Okay. So your life is going to take you towards a gift because you are actually really good in the process of, I would say, like fighting for what you want. And you're good at doing that in a way that is also respectful of others, because with adaptability, it seems like you kind of you really want to do whatever is your ambition. Like you're so focused, and you're really sure that it's important. It's so close to your heart, and yet you're ready to adapt. You're ready to accept also the ways of the world and the opinion of others in a very constructive way. So it seems like this way of being, this mode of being, is going to help you finish something and be victorious while doing that, and also seen by others as someone who is very worthy and honorable. Okay. Let's see if we need some more, or if this is enough. Mercury in Pisces, inspiration. Oh, the focus is really strange today. Sorry for that. Okay. So I guess that people feel like your speech is really inspired. This is Mercury in Pisces, very artistic. So I do feel like this reading is for some of you that are artists, communicators, people who are connected with the spirit of inspiration, with the muses, or with some kind of elemental spirit also. Okay. Mercury in Aries, sorry, in Virgo. Oh, sorry for that. I will stop the reading for a bit just so I can try and fix the focus. Okay, so I'm sorry for that. I hope it helped. So I was saying, not really, sorry. So I'll keep these here. Mercury in Virgo with caution. Okay, so you're very cautious about the words that you speak, the people you speak to. It's kind of being in control of your emotions, not having knee-jerk reactions. That's also one thing that people really respect about you, is that you're pondered. You play, you have a good grasp on the whole experience of the board game, right? So you're trying to fit in all the different pieces smoothly and harmoniously. It's very creative. Wow. Sun in Capricorn with achievement. There you go. And Mars in Cancer with quarrel. Okay. So I guess that this will be the defining energy here. It's that maybe you're kind of possibly presented with a conflict. And the way you perform in that conflict is going to be really like eye-opening for other people, and it's going to also open a lot of doors and open a lot of hearts. Okay, that's super interesting. I think that people see you as a very refined person, so when something like a conflict happens, they see something incredible. Like it's like they see something that's almost like uncanny. Like you have this energy or this way of balancing the energies of the group, or of the project, of whatever. It's like you have this special way of rebalancing things. And I feel like people, when they see you in action, they're kind of watching something magical happen. Four of Swords. I'm really sorry for the focus, the dancing focus. Death. Five of Wands. So there you go with the conflict ready to go. The Hanged Man. Aha. Okay. sorry, I'll get this card. Just a moment. Okay, the Star. And the Ace of Wands. Wow. So it feels like on your current path, you're heading towards a potential conflict that you will transform completely. You will turn things upside down completely. And it does feel like you're going to turn some very stagnant energy into creative energy, very inspired. And it feels like when people watch this happen, they will be quite enchanted and mesmerized, and it will seem like a great achievement from the outside. And I feel like for you, this is just a little bit, it's like business as usual. You're kind of coasting through the whole thing. It's so natural. It's like your natural energy is to make things flow again, make spirit flow again. The Star and the Ace of Wands, that's highly inspired, like Holy Spirit. Queen of Cups, the Tower, Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Wow. The Queen and the King of Cups. I feel like you're going to watch something really crumble before you, but you're going to be holding up the fort with such dignity and elegance that I feel like it's going to fascinate people, and you're going to achieve whatever you want to achieve. Something is crumbling. Maybe it's an alliance, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's some sort of partnership, but you're coasting, you're breezing through the whole thing. And this is where life is taking you. It's like you're going to go through some sort of drama, but you're kind of like on the sidelines, just watching it unfold. And oh, okay. You know, maybe some of you are healers or therapists. It seems to me like you're the therapist and you're watching someone really have like this huge meltdown and going crazy, and because of that something else also crumbles, and a project, I don't know, someone is kind of out of control here, and it's not you. You're just peacemaking, very subtle, elegant energy, very loving, very, very loving, like caring, like a parent, like a grandparent, like really gentle, or even like a spirit guide. You know, if you imagine that relationship of having this person who makes mistakes, but they're kind of innocent, and there's truth there. It's genuine. It's just that this person can't really help, like who they are or what they are about, and the conflicts that they also have in their life, the challenges they have to overcome, and you're just watching. And then suddenly you're there, like at the right moment, at the right time, to make something work. Like just snap your fingers and it works, because it's just you just hold that energy of peace and of resting in your heart. It's divinely inspired. It's so interesting. Two of Wands. Justice, Four of Pentacles. I love this with the Rich Good Gentleman both playing chess. It's not uncommon that these two cards come out together. So to me, it really exemplifies like having a good grasp of the situation. You see the whole chessboard and you see all the pieces, you know where everything is supposed to go, and you're calculating your next move. So it's really thoughtful and intentional. Oh, interesting. Okay. So finally you have the Devil. That's so interesting because this is about you breaking free from something that controls you also. So it seems like you're on the verge of liberating yourself, remember in the beginning, of being victorious over something that used to imprison you. So it's also breaking down something, some kind of structure inside your own psyche, inside your own experience. So in your soul, in your heart, something is also going to change because of this situation. And it is because you achieve some sort of detachment from the drama. And although you're part of the conflict, you're also able to observe and to not feel like you're destined to be in this conflict, or that you're always going to have people like this, like drama in your life, or like things are supposed to go awry. That's so interesting. And I also feel like you're going to have companionship with this. So there are other people who are also compatible with your energy here, and they're going to kind of gather and help everything heal, like help direct the situation towards this beautiful energy that is the true essence, the true core energy that characterizes you, that really is like your soul fingerprint. So it's going to be shown to the world. So there's a part of your soul and your heart that's true, that's unshakable, that's impossible to reproduce, that's so you. And it's going to be seen, it's going to be highly regarded, respected, honored. And it is because of your diplomacy, your gentleness, your kindness, the kindness that you have shown, the charity also, even like with people who are opposing you, I feel like you have shown them charity. And that's the way to move forward. That's where your path is taking you, to overcome some sort of conflict through charity, kindness, and love. So it's highly liberating. It's very, very beautiful. And it's a bit of soul retrieval also, because you get some part of your innocence back. There's also a justice element here. So maybe all the times that you felt injustice, especially in childhood, something about that is also being healed through this situation, through watching other people, and also through understanding your part in that, your position, your strategy, the way you played your pieces, your silences, your words, everything, your gestures. It's also highly performative. I don't know if some of you might be performers, or there's something performative about what you do. So everything is very scrutinized. There are a lot of eyes. There are a lot of connections. Like, it's like a chess game. So you have to think a lot of plays ahead, because you know that each play ramifies, and it's like a fractal, right? It just opens up a whole new tree of hypotheses. So it seems like you're a person who really has a lot of consideration for the consequences of what you do, and you evaluate things with a lot of sensibility, and you want to get the kindness back also, but that's sometimes not possible because there's a lot of conflict in people's lives. But I do feel like at this time you're going to be victorious, because you're going to have an opportunity to experience that kindness and charity, because you are extending it to other people, but also because the reverse is also happening. And that's a great achievement. Somehow you're going to also have a lot of opportunities because of that. Even in the material realm, everything has consequences, right? Like real life consequences. And it's also going to be very, very inspiring for you and for other people. So beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm also available for personal readings at the moment, so you can find my email in the description box below. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2, your card is Iris of the Rainbows. And Iris of the Rainbows is about the end of a stormy period and the beginning of something brighter and lighter. I'm also drawn to the bubbles here, and this card is also about protecting the things that you love, the seeds that you're wanting to nourish and to nurture and to grow. So there's something about that, like focusing on the things that you want to protect while they're still growing, while they're developing, and they're still not ready to weather big storms, but they need your energy, your wiser energy, to also protect them. Okay, so let's get you an O. Okay, so, oh, wow. Code. So, okay, the focus. So code is the sacred place, knowledge of past, present, and future. This is the sacred grove. Interesting. A sacred place is also a protected place. Okay. So, where's your path taking you? Are you in that sacred grove already? Or, okay, this one. Only one? I guess so, yeah. So, are you already in this sacred grove or protected place, or you're heading towards it? Okay. Where is your path taking you? Okay, let's start with the Kipper. Again, that's so interesting. I shuffled the cards. I don't know. Wow. I'm kind of struck. So the same card came out in the first pile. It was exactly the first card also. I was saying in the beginning of the reading, there's a continuity here. There's a continuity. I even changed the way I present the cards in the beginning, so there's something different. There's a shift here. in the readings. So I'm going with the flow. Okay, the fall, 12th moon mention, and Athena. Okay. And we have the waning crescent moon decreasing in Earth, seed stage with negotiation. Okay. So, what else do we have for pile number 2? So we have moon in Capricorn with practicality, Saturn in Gemini with concentration, Mercury in Gemini with excitement. Wow. It's very different energies. Gemini, both Gemini energies. Venus in Virgo with discrimination. And Moon in Aries with protection. There's something about being careful with words. It was already, this energy was already present in the first pile. So something about the spoken word, something about being careful with words. It can change the balance of a negotiation. So the things you say can really affect the things that are possible. The things you say. So this seems to be a process, like a development of the story I was depicting in pile number 1. And this is like a new level that comes after what happens in pile number 1. So I do feel like these 3 piles come in like in tandem. It's really I'm still like opening this treasure box that I just found, because there's so much. It's very different from my usual readings. So I'll try to see a pattern that I can explain to you, because there is something that's really coherent here. And you also have Gemini again with Athena. So I believe that this pile is all about the words. So studying your words and understanding the consequences of your words, I would say, is the best protective approach to your energy and to the energy of the things that you want to achieve, because it does feel like there's a negotiation, there's a dialogue here. And it's both conversational, so there's a conversation, there's words and concepts and ideas on the table, but there's also practical things that need to be done. And the things we're going to explore what comes out of this, because I do feel like there's a product of a conversation or of a negotiation. There's something that's going to be produced because of this. And it seems like it's still a bit up in the air what it's going to be. Okay, let's see if the tarot is a little bit more enlightening on that regard. But first, let's address the situation of the conversation. Yeah, so let's address the conversation, the characters. What is this situation that your path is taking you to? 8 of Staves, right? Messages, emails. There's conversation here. There's dialogue. There are ideas going back and forth. Maybe you're not aware of all that's going on, because maybe this is a team or this is a group. There's something there's a lot of different ideas. That's what I'm seeing, is there's a lot of different ideas. Discrimination. So there are a lot of different colors and sizes, okay? There's a lot of dimensions, and even the minds of the people involved seem to be really different, even opposing sometimes. There are too many variations. It can be a bit confusing, so that's why discrimination is important. That's why discernment is very important. And also knowing when to be quiet, when to protect. Certain ideas shouldn't be communicated. Not everything should be said. It's not, maybe someone has a hard time containing themselves or not speaking their mind all the time, maybe. Ace of Staves. Two of Cups. This card. Oh, these two. Okay. No, three. Okay. King of Swords. Kuan Yin with Sacrifice. This is the Hanged Man. And the Two of Swords. It does feel like this is taking you to a bit of a stalemate. But it is for your protection. It is so that you are protected, or that something that is precious to you is protected. Temptation, Nyayaloro Kidul, Devil card, Judgment, Gwenwifar, and, well, Seven of Pentacles, and finally, Three of Cups. It feels like people want to be, it's like they want to get together, but it's hard. Maybe there are some restrictions, like for traveling, it's hard. People are apart, maybe, or there's something that's like I feel like a meeting is hard to achieve. There are restrictions, there are limitations. Someone is possibly, I believe someone is possibly taking things to the extreme, like they pushing the limits of something. They're pushing the limits of something. Maybe they're pushing your limits. They're pushing your buttons. And it does feel also like the energy of overthinking, of putting things backwards, turning some things on their head so that, okay. So it's like trying to make their answers true. Someone is trying to manipulate the situation so that their answer is the truth. But the thing is, they're inverting the logic. They're inverting the logic, and the ideas are too twisted. And it feels to me like you might have to let this go. Or they will, someone in this group is going to leave because it's incompatible. Something in this group energy is incompatible with this energy of this person. There's a specific person here. There's one. Someone is kind of sticking out to me. Contemplation with Chango. The Fool. Beginnings with Tara. 9 of Staves. Okay. Let me just clarify this. Yep. 8 of Pentacles. You know, it feels to me like you have what it takes to do whatever you want to do. And you know you're skilled in what you want to do. So you have really nothing to worry about. But it's more the dynamic, like the relationship dynamic. I don't know if this is a team or this is a family, or I don't know what type of group this is. So you're trying to do something and there are too many opinions, too many minds, too much that's interfering. It's like too many differences. It's not very harmonious. And it does feel like you want to harmonize, you're thinking about it, and there's a chance that this might have to be completely revamped, or that there's one person that leaves. And if that's so, it might be so, yeah. So the advice here is also really important. It's just that you have to stay aware, like a lot of attention, like give a lot of attention. To give a lot of attention. No. Okay, so there's something else. It's not just to be vigilant or aware of this person's actions and the root of their intention. It does feel like there's something more here. Let me just think about it for a moment. Okay. I hope this is not going to be very confusing, because I did say at the beginning of the reading that when I was showing you the piles, that it seemed to be a sequence, and I'm going to follow that. I'm going to trust my intuition here. And because Rich Good Gentleman was also the first card of the Mystical Kipper that came out in pile number 1, it really feels like there's more to this than it seems. So I think that pile number 2 is actually a further exploration of that moment, of that discussion. Okay, so I was saying in pile number 1 that you would have the opportunity to show how to solve a situation with kindness, how to address possibly a group dynamic that was going awry, in a way, and how to flow, how to let the energy flow again in a loving way, so that everyone feels the harmony, and whoever is not going to be in tune with this is going to be naturally expelled. Let's say they're going to just go away. And it seems like this part of the reading is about, this pile is about exploring that moment, so that you can clearly identify what is going on. Who is this person? There's more about this person here. Who is this person? It does feel to me like this person is very perfectionist, is possibly pathologically a perfectionist, and it's really hard for them to deal with their own inner critic. I do feel like it's going to come up to the surface. It's going to be, it's going to show, like that heavy energy is going to be expressed. And it feels to me like the best thing that you can do in that moment is to not really interact too much with it. You still interact with the group, you're there, you're present, but you just allow things to unfold, because you're not going to give any fuel to that fire. Okay, you don't give it fuel. I do feel like that moment, there's kind of an acceleration, okay, when that happens. It's like a discussion or an argument, and you could, maybe you have this instinct to intervene, but it does feel like the whole context is actually like a bubble, a protected bubble, and you are also protected. And in order for you to strengthen that bubble, you do have to kind of detach from being too involved. You're going to just be watching, having this kind of active observation, if that exists. Like, I'm just observing, but I'm not passive. Okay, your presence is quite active. It seems like the mere presence is going to change things. You're going to change things. I do feel like this person also needs you to kind of prove them something. Maybe it's to prove that you're worthy, and it's not what you think. It's like, you're not going to prove that you're worthy because that person is going to need you to like put on an act. Okay, you prove that you're worthy just because you exist and you have your energy and you hold your energy. It's just that it's something that is already highly developed. You don't need to put on an act or make any effort whatsoever. It's very just down to earth, simple, a presence. And it does feel like by the end of this conversation, because this seems like very accelerated, maybe this is like minutes, okay? This reading is about minutes. And maybe you will have to accept that you deliver, how do I say this? You give up. But giving up is not throwing, in the towel, or assuming that you lost. No, not at all. It's just like, I give it up. I give it to God. It's in the hands of God. It's not in my hands. It's in the hands of God, because it's something that needs to be natural. It's a part of that protective bubble to accept the nature of things, the nature of people too. So you don't really interact with that monster, let's say, with that kind of oppressive, inner critic, controlling, hyper. I would say that this person can also be a bit paranoid, neurotic, even like anxious, terribly anxious, very controlling, because they do feel like if they lose a little bit of control, everything goes awry. So they're very obsessive about controlling every little aspect, okay? And you're kind of like totally relaxed because you know you're in your zone, and you know you're in your element, okay? And now I understand why this OM is here. It's really to make you understand that you're in your sacred place when you're centered like that, and you are totally in the flow. You don't really need to do much. You just observe actively, and you know that your gaze, your vision, your The thing you see in the other, the things you see in the other are going to change that person too. That's so interesting. You know how they say that in quantum physics, the observed particle changes. So the particle that is not observed has a behavior. So there's something in consciousness. So there's something in your consciousness that's also affecting this person terribly. And I feel like it's kind of, it's like sucking out venom. Okay, so you're kind of pushing the venom to the surface, and it's natural that it comes up to the surface. It's visible, it's more visible, so it's a bit more, it's harsher, it's more difficult to deal. So it's like this person is very irritable. It's they're very irritated. How do I say this? Like hypersensitive. Yeah, they're hyper aware of their mistakes, and they're very anxious about everything. All this, they're very anxious about the situation. So your silence is actually really active. That's why you have contemplation. And the Fool, it's a bit like I have total faith in God, and although I'm just holding my energy, and I'm only so I have my inner wisdom here, and I'm maybe not, this is the Hermit, so I'm not interacting too much, but my consciousness, just my awareness of the whole situation is going to put this person in a position where they have to choose if they want to continue or if they want to give up. I hope that this was clear. I have never had this kind of layering in the readings. Normally, my piles are completely different from each other. Sometimes they have a sequence, but to have this sequence of like long-term, short-term, like minutes, and maybe, I don't know what pile number 3 is going to be about. Let's see if there are seconds, maybe. No, let's hope it's something different. But yeah, this is what I see. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm also available for personal readings at the moment, so you can find my email in the description box below. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is the Fairy Godmother. She's Sari. She's so beautiful. I do feel like she's my favorite card of this deck, or at least one of my favorites. She's a great inspiration in my life, and I do feel blessed and thankful every time she comes up in a reading. And so I do feel like she wants you to feel like that also, and to be grateful for the beautiful things and the good things, the goodness in your life, all the good people, all the gentleness and kindness that is extended to you. And it does feel also like you're going to have clues, you're going to have beautiful signs for you to follow on your path, and she's taking you to your blessings, surely, Fairy Godmother. So where your path is taking you. Okay, let's give you an ohm. Okay, so this is Uliand, and this is about secrecy, something hidden. Okay, maybe your path is taking you to a hidden blessing or a treasure. Okay, so where's your path taking you? Pile number 3's puff. Heavy. Okay. So, rich girl and create happiness. Wow. Beautiful things. So we have the first quarter with increasing in water, leaf stage, and the keyword is choice. And then we have the waxing crescent moon, increasing in air, sprout stage with ideas. And finally we have Artemis. Okay. Sun in Sagittarius with enthusiasm. Venus in Libra with indecision. Okay, now I understand. Choice, indecision. Sun in Aries with assertion. Sun in Capricorn with achievement. And Jupiter in Cancer with speculation. Okay. So your path is filled with blessings, great blessings. I hope that you feel this way at the moment and that you take the time to really be grateful for the things that you do have in your life. Of course, we all go through challenges, and some of you might be going through a very, very hard time. But even though that might be the case for you, I would try to stay grateful as much as you can. And because that's the way for you to achieve something that's really important to you. If you keep the things that you are most grateful for in your life as a priority, as a thought form, like a thought form that moves you forward, like a magnet pulls you forward, it's the most inspiring thing to be grateful. It's an energy that also really is very magnetic. It really draws in positivity. This is not a new concept. I'm sure many of you know of this, but sometimes it's easy to forget that as we are so involved with life's challenges and maybe even just everyday life and routines. So it's really important that you keep that access clean so that you clear the way to the things that you're most grateful for. They should have a most prominent role in your psyche, in your mind. I would say that you do have a lot of blessings, but also you might be in the middle of a bit of confusion. I would say there are a lot of options, or there's the need to make a lot of decisions that need a lot of energy and assertiveness. Like you have to be sure of the things that you're doing. You might also be in a competitive environment. So it's important that you value yourself and that you're grateful for the things that you are and that you have, because it's something that helps you also not engage with the negativity that can come with competitiveness and with dealing with others that might be competing. Okay. Three of Pentacles with work. Princess of Cups. Prince of Wands. Ace of Swords. Six of Pentacles. And Four of Pentacles. Wow. So for some of you, this is really good for material aspects of life. It feels like you're on the path to achieve a lot of things in the material world. Either to make your dreams come true, like to materialize your vision, but also to deal with everything that material, so money, possessions, wealth. It seems like you're going to achieve a certain balance and a certain stability in that regard. Like management, managing wealth, managing possessions really wisely, and also managing your body, managing your health, managing resources also, like managing your resources, your attention, your energy, the flow of love, the flow of ideas, managing really well the flow of ideas. And something about this is really supported by that gratefulness, that gratitude. Two of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. Nine of Cups. Wow. Nine of Swords. Okay. Everything seems really positive and dynamic and has energy, but not so much the mind. There's something about the mind and also the indecision. Maybe you're kind of plagued by too many options, plagued by too many ideas, too many opinions. No, I don't feel it's not so much the opinions, it's more the ideas, like complex ideas, maybe even some cognitive dissonance. And I do feel like in that regard, if you feel that way about something, if there's something that really triggers some inner conflict, there's your hidden treasure. There's something that you need to discover. Whatever creates conflict. Queen of Wands. Five of Wands. Okay. Knight of Swords. Six of Swords. Okay, I get it. So yeah, it's in your mind. There's hidden treasure in your mind. And it is about cognitive dissonance. There's something like you have a conflict inside yourself and you need to resolve this. It's like, so imagine that you see like two polar opposites, like thought forms or ideas, concepts, philosophies. You see these two and you see how they clash, and you're kind of like in the middle trying to make them fit. Okay, so I feel like you're trying to make two incompatible ideas fit together. So I don't think that you have to make a choice between one or the other, but I do feel like you have to understand them much better. There's something hidden below the concepts that you see. There's something deeper there. There's something hidden there. And okay, why is it hidden? Why is it hidden? Fairy godmother. She's taking you to the revelation. She's taking you there. Why is it hidden? Temperance. Because it's complicated. Six of Cups. So to me, it feels like this is only going to be accessible to you once you heal. And maybe once you forgive also. Forgiveness, gratitude, very high level energy, very, very elevated, heart-centered, pure love, compassionate energy. So there's forgiveness here with the Temperance and the Six of Cups. Something in your childhood, maybe healing some kind of dissonance that was kind of like a program that was installed in childhood. And because you're forgiving, you have to forgive someone or forgive something, forgive a situation. It's complicated. It seems like it's complicated. You understand that there's a level deeper, and that's why you're conflicted. You're conflicted because you're at the moment not seeing the deeper dimensions, the deeper reasons. Okay. So maybe someone mistreated you when you were a child. You have a bad memory. You have a certain memory. It doesn't feel like it's that bad. It's just, maybe it's even good. Maybe it's like losing something good from your childhood years. There's some sort of loss. But it's not, it's still there. It's just conflicted. Imagine this. So imagine that you have like a family member or a friend or someone who is a part of your childhood. It's like they're a part of the foundations of your psyche even. So they're kind of like the archetypal image of something. I don't see what it can be, but okay, so they're the representation of something, a very powerful idea, like father, mother, brother, etc. So you never had a problem, an issue with this person, but your relationship was plagued by conflict that came from the outside. Everyone was, fighting each other, or there were a lot of challenges, a lot of arguments, different ideas. People wouldn't really agree, and they wouldn't kind of tolerate each other or something like that. There was some sort of animosity or too much energy, or just it was disagreeable. It wasn't pleasant. Okay? And it's not that you have anything against this person. You don't have an issue with this person directly. It's just that every time that you were with this person, the environment, or there was chaos around you, and you end up kind of associating being with this person or that archetype with conflict. And it's not correct. It's not accurate. It feels like you have to go to the heart of something. And that heart is about you being precise, having a precise memory. Maybe you have to write about it. Maybe you have to speak about it. Maybe you have to rewind a little bit so that you're accurate. You have to be very accurate in the depiction of the situation, in the depiction of your relationship with this person or this archetype. It does feel like it's a very archetypical energy, very godmother. It's really foundational. It's a foundational character in your psyche. And your path is taking you towards the discovery of an information that is precisely going to go to the heart of the matter and change something for you. Your path is also filled with great blessings, and it feels like your gratitude, if you're constantly aware of the things that you should be grateful for, and if you have them top of mind, always remind you that it's like there's a love that pierces through confusion, and that love comes to you through gratitude. And because you are able to feel that love daily, eventually, like a week, 2 weeks, you start to unlock, this drama. You unlock this new story. And once you see that story in a different light, you're like, that's precisely the moment when I thought this and this and this, and it blocked my way for such a long time. Now I can change it. But you do have to understand that precise idea. It comes through the energy of the fairy godmother, gratitude, but constantly practicing it. So maybe put it on a piece of paper, write it on your hands, something like that. Really, you really have to put this into your daily life, because it does feel like you have things to be grateful for, even if your life, and I don't want to underestimate the challenges that you might be going through, but as hard as it gets, you always gain by being grateful for the good things. There's no loss there. Okay. Yeah. And it's also one thing that's fairy godmother always brings is a lot of hope and faith. So that's always important, so that any challenge is put into perspective. It's so different. Thank you, fairy godmother. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm also available for personal readings at the moment. You can find my email in the description box below. I hope to see you again very soon.